So welcome all tonight. So let us start the show.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for inviting me to share about Metadichol.
True.
Yeah, which I'm not so used to Zoom meeting. As an old man, all right, this is something new. It is something that becomes so popular during COVID time. But it's good to have these tools, all right, so that we are able to sort of meet each other, discuss about something wonderful, even though we are such a distant apart. Now, I want to start this talking about Metadichol by sharing a bit of my personal experience. Using Metadichol relieved my years of urination problem. As we get older, our urine bladder seems to lose the ability to contract to squeeze out the urine. After using Metadichol, just in days, the problem gone. I'm not alone. Many old people, even those older than me, experience the same thing. And of course, all of us experience the side effect. All right. As we get older, the erection seems to be getting poor. So the side effect of Metadichol is that it strengthens your erection. I mean, for men. It helps me also to reduce my colon inflammation because of this diverticulum. It also lower or eliminates my fatty liver. It actually, surprisingly, reduce the percentage of my three heart blockages, which until now I'm quite surprised, and sometimes it's hard for me to believe. Now, let me start by sharing a testimony that I just received yesterday night. I hope it is here. Now, this is a very interesting testimony. Too bad I don't have it here. Now, yesterday I received a testimony. It's a patient with AIDS. Now, I can only show you from very far, but because this is something really confidential, I have not get the clearance from her to show her photograph and to share about her problem. So now, this girl, she's 9 years old. She got a problem at her neck. Let me, not without disclosing her face, hopefully we all can see the problem. These are the reports showing that the AIDS, I know you all cannot see clearly, it's intended not for everyone to see clearly because there's a name inside the report. Because AIDS is pretty sensitive, so without getting her approval, I don't think we want to disclose who is this girl. I just want to show you that the recent test report shows that her sort of a HIV virus as a carrier for so many years has turned negative after using Metadichol. And on top of this, let me just show you what happened to her neck. I hope you all can see it. Can you all see her neck? Can see something?
If you can see, type 1.
Yeah, this is at her neck, at this part. She got this problem since the age of 9. Now, she's 43. Now, after using Metadichol, it has not totally cured yet, but has much improved. Okay, this is a HIV patient turning from positive to negative, all right, with 30 over years of skin problem, been treated by doctor after doctors. I don't know, because I don't know her, to be very frank. I don't know her. I just got this, her testimony yesterday, so I just take this opportunity to share with you. So these are miracles, right? Let me just quickly go through with you some of the cases. All right, say like for example, after vaccination, COVID vaccination, you can see before and after, before using Metadichol, even though being treated by doctors, all right, but cannot get well. And you can see after 2 weeks of using Metadichol, how the condition has improved. This girl also the same thing after vaccination. She developed into anxiety, depression, all kinds of emotional issue, and been treated, going to psychiatry, and then they treated for 2 months. Don't seems to be much improvement, and after 2 months of Metadichol, she managed to get back to work again. Now there are many other sort of vaccine side effects which I don't think we have time to go through. This young man, Samso, all right, infected by COVID. After the COVID been cured, they've been turned negative, but the symptom persist. And the symptom not only persist, but the symptom seems to be getting worse. So she started to use Metadichol, and we have another product called CRP, Cell Recipe Plus from US. So after only using for first day, the next morning after he picked up the product from me, I call him to check to find out, how does the product work on him. Now it's quite shocking that on the second day, she don't feel the symptom that he used to have. All right, and his symptom is quite serious until he couldn't get to work. So after just using for 1 day, he feel normal as like he has not infected by COVID before. So on the second day, he went to his office to work until night time. Then he texts me that Benson, this product works like magic. You feel better than before he was infected. And for Samso, then because his mother was treated in at IJN, Institute Jantung Negara, because diabetic patient, this is a diabetic patient. The nerve already run the problem, neuropathy. All right, no sensation at her leg. Her leg already turned black, and so cannot walk. Doctor told her that if they say the leg cannot be cured, then both legs got to be amputated, up to the upper thigh. All right. Now after using Metadichol, for a couple of days, his mother called him, and I say, Samso, kaki mak sudah beransur-ansur sembuh, sudah berasa, ya, dan warna kulit sudah beransur-ansur pulih, ya, to return to a normal color of our skin. Some of them I don't have their photo because they are willing to share, but they are not willing to disclose who they are. Now this is a guy, under dialysis. After infected by COVID-19, then he was admitted to ICU. His wife, give him Metadichol 1 bottle a day. Now after 2 days, he was discharged from ICU and go back to the general ward. Now there are some other cases. Many of these cases after infected by COVID, even though after recovered, still feel shortness of breath, feel fatigue, tired. Feel that the lung is not returned to full capacity. Some of the COVID patients, they experience memory problem, seems to be unable to remember, or sometimes when they are during the meeting, suddenly, this guy forget about what he wanted to share during the meeting. So these are some of the common problems of numbness or body aching, all kinds of long COVID symptoms. Now, other than COVID, you can see that these are hand, foot, and mouth disease, all right, and cured by COVID. These are Metadichol, HIV patient, okay, and you can see that there are so many skin diseases, which I'm not going to spend so much time. These are psoriasis, and you can see many other cases, all right, okay, sorry, okay, eczema cases. These are infection, vaginal infection, be it virus, be it fungal, be it bacterial infection. Metadichol works by you not only spray into your mouth, but also you can directly spray onto the infected area. For diabetic patient, These are a clinical study conducted on 14 diabetic patients over a period of 12 weeks, that means about 3 months' time. You can see that the overall, these biomarkers all improve. Even though you can see that the fasting glucose, the reduction of fasting glucose is not that significant, only reduced by 7%. But you can see that the overall blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and also the insulin level, all right, liver enzyme, vitamin C, and C-reactive protein all improve. Now, this is very, very important because now hardly anyone died because the blood sugar is too high. But the problem is that a diabetic patient over time will develop into complication, and these are some of the factors that will causes those diabetic complication. So being able to reduce those markers, it can really greatly reduce the percentage or the risk of developing into diabetic complication. So these are a UK perspective diabetic study conducted on over 5,000 diabetic patients over a period of 10 years. Now, based on the UK perspective diabetic study, Metadichol, in short, can reduce the risk of diabetic patient by about 40 to 50%. Right. Now, these are something that is quite shocking, yeah. Now, these are some other sort of the cases, not only reduce glucose level, but also normalizes insulin level. Okay. Now, not only this, let me see some other things. These are cases for type 1 diabetes, which everyone knows that type 1 diabetes, whole life you got to depend on insulin injection. It's not possible for a type 1 diabetic patient, all right, to sort of recover. But you can see that, after taking Metadichol, the pancreas start to produce insulin. All right, these are case 1 and the case 2. And you can see that over a period of over 1 year, the glucose level return to a normal level. Now, Metadichol also reduce the lipoprotein. These are important markers, all right, to reduce the risk of cardiovascular or cerebrovascular risk. Now, you can see over a period of some take half a year, some takes about few weeks, some takes about a year to return to normal level. So this is what I say, even though your blood glucose may not reduce to or return to normal level, but the biomarker of the whole body actually improve, all right, to reduce the risk of the complication. Now, Metadichol also improve the filtration rate of our kidney function. You can see that, all this from 61 to 99. As a healthy person, our level should be above 90. Okay. Now, we have many cases with kidney disorder or wound healing. All right. Wound healing. I hope I have some other kidney cases here, maybe later. All right. So now Metadichol also very, very important for diabetic patient because it improves the EGFR of diabetic patient. And you can see that these are diabetic wound. Okay. There are so many testimonies that I have on hand, but I can only show some of them. Okay, is here. Okay. This is a very typical, very interesting case. I know this guy personally. He's my childhood friend, stay in Sagamat, Johor. Now, when I called him a few months ago, he told me he's dying. He is dying because he has diabetic for about 17 years, 2 times of stroke, is undergoing 3 times of dialysis a week. So he told me that the longest possible time for him to live on is about probably like a year's time, and maybe he will die within 3 to 4 months' time. So After that, I give him a few bottles of Metadichol, and after using Metadichol for a few weeks, I don't exactly know how many weeks, but definitely is within 10 weeks time. Now, before that, his left hand, as you can see, all right, he's a stroke patient, 2 times of stroke. So his left hand cannot lift up. His left hand finger cannot grip anything. Okay, his leg already turned black. Now his eye can see images but cannot recognize who you are. Now when he speaks, we can't hear it clearly, as you know, a stroke patient. And then no more erection, and of course no more sperm. I mean, according to him. So now, doctor, he was given about 5 to 6 injections a month by doctor. Okay, so after taking Metadichol for few weeks, all right, then the miracle happened. His legs start to, return to normal color. His hands start to lift up. His fingers start to be able to grab things. He can speak much more clearer. He feels that he's improving every day, day by day. Doctor reduced the injection from 5 to 6 times to 2 times. Now, the something that really surprised me is that now his erection started to come back. He told me that he can be a father again. That is the exact word that he told me. All right, it's quite surprising. It's quite shocking. All right, and now he closed one eye. He can also see clearly who you are. You can't believe it, internet, but this is true. So in the dialysis center, there is a Malay guy, a blind guy. The Malay guy has been blind for many years. So he recommend one bottle to the blind man. After using for 11 days, the blind man start to see the color emitted from the TV set when the family on the TV. I mean, he also feels shocking, and also same thing, the side effect is that the Malay guy also start to experience long lost erection, to the extent that the nerve, joke with him, and say that, Cik jahat ya, sudah boleh nampak ya, sudah boleh kawin lagi ya. You know what he meant by sudah boleh kawin lagi? It means that, you can perform your man's duty again. Now, this old man, now this year 82, last year 81, kidney disorder patient, recommended by doctor to start his dialysis. Now, so what happened, as you can see from the this medical checkup. Now, prior to this is 15, EGFR 15 means that you got to go for dialysis, and the creatinine level is extremely high. So after 2 weeks of Metadichol, EGFR goes up and the creatinine comes down. After 3 weeks, goes up again and creatinine comes down again. I mean, this is the solid proof of how Metadichol help those kidney patients. This woman is from Indonesia, all right? Now again, after taking Metadichol for 5 weeks, you can see the EGFR improved from 22 to 38, and the creatinine level also dropped from 210 to 128. Now, these are 3 different kidney patients. Now, you can see that how Metadichol improved their RBW. RBW means red blood cell distribution, which is the indications of the healthiness of your red blood cell. Some people, if you go for dialysis, it's very likely that your red blood cell will be affected. It affects the maturity of the red blood cell. It affects the size of the red blood cell. So some are big, some are small. This will affect the function of red blood cell. It also, improve the level of hemoglobin and also the number of red blood cell. Now these are cases, for liver problem. Now you can see that the liver enzyme, how it improved the liver enzyme. All these are cases of how Metadichol improved the liver enzyme. Now the AST over ALT for a healthy person is supposed to be below 1. So you can see, from 1.35, 1.89, 1.3, all, restore back to below 1 level. Now this is something very interesting. There are many people having urination problem, especially for those women above 60. Many of them seem to, if sometimes you go to beside the highway R&R, you go to the toilet, if you standing next to you, the old man, likely he stand there for some time, but the urine still, having a difficulty to push out the urine. Now, some of these patients is because the prostate swollen. It could be any kind of a prostate problem, but majority of them are not because of prostate, because of urine bladder. The muscle is weakened, no longer have the ability to contract to squeeze out the urine. As what I mentioned, I do have this problem, and after taking for I don't know how many days because I didn't actually monitor. Then I started to notice that my problem gone. So there are so many cases. All right, this man is a prostate gland cancer after operation. His urine duct get blocked, and after taking Metadichol for around 10 to 12 days time, his problem get cured. Now, then you can see that the profile of how Metadichol improve or help those prostate problem. All these old men, you can see that 73, 50, 65, 58. Around some of these are women, even old women. When we get old, also having the same problem. We tend to have more frequent frequent urination, especially at night, and also even daytime. Some of the women they got to run to the toilet, from time to time. Now, one of the reasons is that because our urine bladder muscle contraction is not as strong, so we don't squeeze out all the urine. So after a short while, then the urine return back to the level that triggers that signals to our brain and triggers our urge to go to the toilet. So all these people, of course not the women, all the men, even though 73, 74. They all experience the side effect, of, started to have morning wood, start to feel the experience of the strengthening the erection. All right. Now, this comes back to the sex erectile function. All right. Most of the people, even though at the age of 70 plus, they still can experience the how Metadichol improve the erectile function. Now, one of the reasons is because actually Metadichol can increase the testosterone level back to about 10 to 20 years time. Now, for example, today I'm 60 plus, so after taking Metadichol, my testosterone level might go back to 40 plus. Okay, this is another case. I don't go into detail because it will take quite a lot of time. Thyroid problem. We read is hypo or hyper, both Metadichol also work. All right. So hypo, hyper, or hypertension. Now, yes, today William just shared with me, one of Singaporean, after taking Metadichol for about a month's time. All right, experienced a great improvement for his high blood pressure. Now, actually, the first time Metadichol conducted the clinical study was conducted in India, all right, and it's on high blood pressure patient. It's quite shocking, all the 14 patients with high blood pressure after the first day start to experience, the drop in their blood pressure. But let me remind you that not everybody having the same result, some takes weeks, some takes months, you know, so depends on the individual. Okay, these are blood lipid, all right, and cancer patient, okay, patient with low blood platelet, leukemia patient, and also this immune cell or low hemoglobin, or people with insomnia, migraine problem, nervous system disorder like stroke, Parkinson, rheumatoid arthritis, joint pain, uric acid, for vision, eyesight problem. This is my friend that I just shared with you earlier. Now, also same thing, you know, vision problem, anti-aging. As you can see that this is before, this photo is before, all right, after 2 months, after 3 months, all right. Hair growth, all right, you can see the difference before and after, right. This guy is from Alostar, and to many people surprised that Metadichol actually triggers our body to produce vitamin C. This is unbelievable because everyone knows that human beings don't produce vitamin C. But with Metadichol, you'll be surprised that our bodies can start to produce vitamin C. Okay, this is what I would like to share with you. I'm not very good at doing this. I want to change the. Maybe I should close this, isn't it? Stop sharing.
Yes,
All right.
stop sharing and then open
Then
another.
share again.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay, so now many of you, I guess, puzzled, doubt, you know, what is this Metadichol? It seems to be able to do everything right from head to toe. It's nothing wrong if you think that Metadichol helps in all aspects of life, all right, from top to toe, from your hair, from your complexion, for your eye vision, all right, you know, for your lung, for your prostate, for your thyroid gland, for your liver, for your kidney, for your prostate, for your urine bladder, and so on and so forth. So, what is Metadichol? What is this that, you know, one simple thing looks like nothing inside, actually is something inside, you know. Only 0.25% is the active ingredient. The rest of 99.75% are actually pure water or pristine water, or the snow melting water from Switzerland, all right, and the rest are actually just excipient, all right. Okay, oh, this one I'm not changing, all right. Now, only 0.25% of policosanol nanoparticle. Now, this product is made from the skin of sugarcane or anything that looks or feels like waxy, contains this policosanol. But if you go to walk into any pharmacy, you can also buy health supplement called policosanol. But I can assure you the policosanol that you buy from the pharmacy will not give you the kind of result that you enjoy by taking Metadichol. Now, because the most important factor is that Dr. Raghu used to be a sort of involved in genetic drug discovery, working in a pharmaceutical company for the past 25 years before he left and started to do research on this product. Okay, so this is something very interesting. If Dr. Raghu used something very common from food, all right, using the particle, using the molecule, you know, and with his own patented technology, all right, and the technology is patented worldwide now, okay, and make use and produce in Switzerland, use the snow melting water in Switzerland to come out with this product. Even though the content of the active compound is so minute, only 0.25%, but when we spray into our mouth, now each spray contains 1 trillion nanoparticle. 1 trillion nanoparticle means one with 18 zeros at the back. That is the number of nanoparticle that goes into our body. And the question is, what does this nanoparticle do to our body? And this is something that we want to discuss today. All right, seems magical. Now, first I want to talk about what inspired Dr. Raghu. All right, started to what triggers his interest to do such a research. He was attending a seminar conducted by an old professor at this New York Academy of Sciences. Towards the end, before the old professor closed his seminar, he made a statement by saying that he believed that he still, within his lifetime, he still can witness that human being discovers a simple particle or something simple, but can treat multiple diseases. This is what the professor said, the old professor said. And everybody laughed and give him the applause because everybody thought that he's cracking a joke. But Dr. Raghu took it seriously and started to think of what are the possible simple food that may be able to bring such a miracle result. Now he noticed a few things. Now he noticed that in India there is a sugar factory, all right, where most of the labor are healthy because they are taking those something yellow, jelly, something, I don't know in India what we call it. The sediment, when they produce the sugar, there's something yellow color. Sometimes they use it to offer to God when they do a prayer. Some Indian may know what is it. And most of the senior management who take white sugar, having all kinds of diseases or sicknesses, whereas those labor who are taking the yellow, something looks like yellow sediment, sweeting from sugarcane also seems to be very healthy. So this inspired him to put some efforts to conduct a study on this sugarcane. And also in Indonesia, the poultry farm, when they feed the chicken with the, rice bran, then the chicken seems to be very healthy. But when they replace the so-called as the rice bran with the white rice, it seems that the chicken was sick. So there must be something in the rice bran as well. So that's why the policosanol or Metadichol, the main ingredient is coming from sugarcane and also from rice bran. Now, let me just start by sharing a bit about our human body. Our human body comprises of over 200 different types of cells. We have bone cell, we have brain cell, we have blood cell. Altogether we have over 200 different types of cells. Some people say that we have 60 trillion, some people say 90 trillion. I think this is not the figure we want to debate about. But all our body cell has cell membrane, cell nucleus, and inside the cell nucleus there are 23 pairs of chromosomes. All right. Inside the chromosome, we know that it's a long string of DNA, and inside this DNA, there are comprises of over 20,000 genes. And at the tip, both ends of the chromosome, there are something called telomere. And every time when our cell divide, telomere getting shorter, and it comes to a so-called as a limit called Helmholtz limit, then the cell dies. Okay, now this is about our body and the cell. And then actually all our cells are started from an embryonic stem cell, as we get older, become an adult, our body still have pluripotent stem cell, but may not be a totipotent stem cell and embryonic stem cell. All right. So stem cell, divide and grow into somatic cell, our body cell. Now, like skin cell, our bone cell, our heart cell, our brain cell, all these are somatic cell. Now, so stem cell develop into somatic cell. But there's no way that the somatic cell, can reverse back into a pluripotent stem cell. I mean, this is what everybody expects it to be so. So if we can change, deprogram somatic cell back to pluripotent stem cell, then it will be something really significant and benefit to our body health and also longevity. Something that most people may not be quite may not understand or may not know is that actually when we take any medicine or even have supplement, our body don't recognize the medicine, don't recognize what kind of supplement you are taking. The medicine also don't know what kind of problem you have. So the medicine actually don't treat your disease. Now what happens is this: in our body cell, we have a few hundred receptors. Inside cell nucleus, we have 48 receptors. Cell membrane, we have receptors. Organelles, we have receptors. So we have a few hundred receptors. So when we take medicine, actually the active compound in the medicine binds with a specific receptor in our body cell and produce something, all right, to treat sort of the problem that we are facing. This is how medicine works. All medicine works in the same way. If your family have someone a pharmacist or in the medical field, you can check with them. All medicine works in the same way by binding with a specific receptor. Now to make it simple, in our body cell there are many sockets. Medicines are like plug. So it depends on this plug or medicine plug around into which socket that will decide which light this medicine will on or what kind of disease or problems that this medicine can treat. Okay, so this is just for some understanding. Now, first, we got to understand that genes decide whether we are a worm, we are an animal, we are plant, or we are an animal. Whether we are animal or we are human being. If we are human being, how tall you are, what is your skin color, what is your race, what kind of diseases likely you will develop, what kind of lifespan you probably can enjoy. Almost everything has something to do with our gene. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, we have about 20,000 genes, but a huge number, thousands of genes are in dormant state, already no longer functioning. All right, and some of the genes, even though still functioning, may not be fully expressed or not in its so-called as a tip-top performance. Okay, so what happened to Metadichol is this: when we spray Metadichol into our mouth, all right, it actually interacts with 45 out of the 46 chromosomes that we have in our body cell. Okay. Now earlier we mentioned that we have 23 pair of 46 chromosomes. Now Metadichol, all right, interacts with 45 out of the 46 chromosomes. It actually expresses thousands of genes. This is something very interesting. This is not a artist creation. This is a genetic study sort of a report. So don't take the chart as you see as a drawing from our artist. It's not there. There's only one chromosome that the Metadichol didn't interact with. That is Y chromosome, because the Y chromosome detects whether you are man or male or female. All right. So if they say a genetic drug may be acting on one particular gene. Now, Metadichol express thousands of genes. So if this is true, then now there is a unlimited potential, or there's a huge potential for Metadichol to help thousands of different types of diseases. Right? Now, let me highlight this. Dr. Raghu don't have a factory. Dr. Raghu don't have a lab. All right. So all the reports that you see is not published or is not created by Dr. Raghu. When Dr. Raghu wanted to do any specific clinical study, all right, he sent it to a lab that is specialized in that particular area. So all the reports, if you go to Google and search for Metadichol, you will see that there are many sort of published paper, review published paper. All those data are not published by Dr. Raghu himself, all right, but it's by third party from the lab that specialized in that particular area. Okay. According to the study, they are very clear. These are the first pair of chromosomes. How Metadichol, express. What does the Metadichol express? All right. These are chromosome number 2, number 3, and so on and so forth. So this product, the mechanism of function is very clear. It is good. Why it is good? It acts on which receptor, on which gene is very clear. All right. Now this is another study. Now not only Metadichol expressing sort of regulates gene function, it also generates a lot of feedback loops. Now this is very important. Means that in any of our body function or cell function, not at the in the so-called as homeostatic balance. Now then, our body will receive the feedback and do adjustment. Now the feedback loop is very important for our body to maintain homeostasis balance. All right. If our body get out of balance, then we fall sick. So the feedback loop is very important, so that our body knows that things are not anything abnormal that happen, all right, then our body can do sort of adjustment. Now this is something that also very interesting. These are based on human genome, means based on human gene. Now, what will be the biological process? What kind of, and the proportion of biological process based on human gene, all right? Now, and also based on human genome, what kind of cellular function that our cell is performing. And based on human genome, the cell component in the body cell, what are the parts, and the proportion. Surprisingly, when the cell is treated with Metadichol, and thereafter using RNA sequencing experiment, you can see that Metadichol, cells treated with Metadichol, and also based on a perfect human body's gene, it is almost identical. Like this chart and this chart compared with this chart is almost identical. Now, what is the importance of this? This shows that if our body biological process is abnormal, now Metadichol has the ability to restore it to the normal biological process. Likewise, when our cellular function is don't perform normally, it can restore to its normal function. All right. So this chart is to indicate that Metadichol is like restoring our body to its original function. Before the time where some of our body function, our gene no longer functioning, Metadichol is like restoring back to where we are coming from. So this is an example. as I say, we have 20,000 genes. Some of the genes are no longer function. Like one typical example is Gudo gene. Now, dog can produce vitamin C, goats can produce vitamin C because the Gudo genes in goat is still functioning. So with Gudo gene, their body can produce Gudo enzyme, and Gudo enzyme is needed to convert glucose to vitamin C. But in human body, right, Gudo gene already no longer functioning. So our body cannot produce Gudo enzyme. If without Gudo enzyme, then our body cannot convert glucose to vitamin C. So we cannot produce vitamin C. Okay. Now, I think most of you heard about this, isn't it? Human beings don't produce vitamin C. We have to supplement vitamin C, either from food or supplement. Okay. So now just imagine that you tell someone that your body can produce vitamin C. I think the whole world will laugh at you. All right. Now they will be thinking that you've been cheated. But this is true. I know how will you think, but I still want to emphasize this. When you take Metadichol, it actually reactivates Gudo gene, and our body starts to produce Gudo enzyme, and our body is able to produce vitamin C endogenously. All right. Yeah, you hear it correctly that Metadichol make our body produce vitamin C. All right. So interestingly, Metadichol also increase glutathione level, and it includes GLUT4. That is this thing. This is a transporter. All right. It can improve the function by 10 times. All right. It carry those use vitamin C for recycling. So if we are taking Metadichol, our body can produce vitamin C even though we are not taking vitamin C. Okay, this is interesting, isn't it? All right, very interesting. Okay, and vitamin C, I don't talk about the function and benefit of vitamin C. You can probably search Google what are the benefits. You can see thousands of it. All right. So just imagine that this is something really magical that what Metadichol can do to our body. Not only reactivates gene, it also upregulates cotogene. Cotogene is very important. The study shows that those patients with cancer, their cotogene is not very active. Okay, it means to say that cotogene has something to do with anti-cancer, anti-aging, and also all kinds of chronic diseases. Metadichol also upregulates TP53 that produce P53 anti-cancer protein. All right. It also upregulates a series of genes that is related to heart muscle repair. Now, Metadichol downregulates BCAP1 gene. Now, these are called as aging gene. If our body BCAP1 gene is very active, it's very likely that we age very fast. We were likely to develop into all kinds of chronic or aging diseases. Okay, so just now we see so many miracle testimony after consuming Metadichol. So the first reason is because it interacts with 45 out of 46 chromosomes in our body cell. It expresses thousands of genes. So that is number one. Okay, it actually upregulates certain genes that benefits our health, and also suppresses certain genes that cause aging and diseases. So this is number one. Now, if this is true, then the potential for Metadichol to prevent or to reverse sicknesses, will be really great. Now, second thing is something very interesting, as I mentioned earlier. Stem cell, we start with a totipotent stem cell, means embryonic stem cell that develop into different type of stem cell, develop into finally the somatic cell. That is, our body are all somatic cell, except our egg cell, our sperm cell are not somatic cell. But so stem cell develop into this what do you call it? Okay, stem cell develop, or divide into a somatic cell like our body cell. But when we take Metadichol, now Metadichol express something, the genes related or call it Yamanaka factor. Now Yamanaka is a Japanese scientist who developed a method how to reprogram, somatic cell back to pluripotent stem cell, and he succeeded, and he won Nobel Prize Award in 2012. You can check, if you were to type in iPSC, induced pluripotent stem cell or Yamanaka factor, you will know what is it all about. So now what happened is this, now without using Yamanaka's method of how to reprogram somatic cell back to pluripotent stem cell, by taking Metadichol, it can express Yamanaka factor. Yamanaka factors are the 4 genes that can reprogram our somatic cell back to pluripotent stem cell. So imagine that people spending hundreds of thousands to go for stem cell injection, all right, and yet the stem cell is not pluripotent stem cell. Okay, now but by just taking Metadichol, now it can express Yamanaka factor and increase our body, the pluripotent stem cell in our body. Now, if the pluripotent stem cell in our body increase, then cell regeneration, cell repair, become possible. So our body cell density and also cell function also be improved. So if our body has sufficient stem cell and continue to maintain sufficient cell density and also cell function, then we can prevent most of the diseases, I would say. All right. So these are something interesting. All right. The next thing that what Metadichol can do to our body to increase the cell density and also cell function is by prevent the shortening or slow down the shortening of this so-called telomere. By just taking 1 picogram, 1 picogram means 0.1101 gram. That is how small it is. It can increase telomerase. Telomerase is a kind of enzyme, okay? It only takes 1 picogram to increase 16 times telomerase in our body. Now, when we increase telomerase, this is telomerase, this is telomere, okay? Now, it can slow down the shortening of telomere. It can also prolong the telomere of certain stem cell and also certain body cells. Now, bear in mind, when cell divide, all right, then our body telomere get a bit shorter and shorter and shorter. When the telomere reach to a stage called half-reach limit, then cell going through a process of apoptosis and die. Okay, so by able to reduce the speed of the shortening of telomere or to prolong telomere, it actually prolongs the lifespan of body cell and thus the function of our organ or system and thus prolong our lifespan. All right. Okay, this is something very interesting. Now the other thing is that during COVID time, because of inflammation and oxidation, it affects and destroy our this mitochondria, affects our cell energy level, and causes cell death. So now Metadichol can actually protect, our mitochondria from being damaged to continue to maintain our energy level. So for many COVID patients, after being infected by COVID, they have all kinds of long COVID symptoms. Now, the Metadichol really shows, miracle effect, or to help them to restore back, or to sort of eliminate their long COVID symptoms. Okay, so the mechanism number 2 is that number 1 is on gene, number 2 is increased pluripotent stem cell. Number 3, is like binding with the receptor in our body. As what I just shared earlier, all medicine, the function of all medicine is depending on which receptor it binds with. Got it? And Metadichol is so-called as a protein agonist. This means that it has multiple functions. It's like it don't go on only one direction. It can trigger it, it can suppress it, or no reaction. All right, it works in multiple directions. All right, it's like biphasic. It is not only I stimulate. Sometimes our body already have excessive, so you continue to stimulate, then it make it worse. All right, if our body don't need it, then no reaction. Or sometimes you need to suppress it, then it suppress it. Okay, this is something very interesting. Now, the most surprising thing is this. When we are taking, say like for example, painkiller, the medicine may bind with one of receptor called opioid receptor, then we relieve from our pain. Now, but Metadichol binds with all the 48 cell nuclear receptors. In our body cell nucleus, we have 48 receptors. Metadichol nanoparticle binds with all 48 cell nuclear receptors. Now, for example, when this Metadichol nanoparticle binds with the vitamin D receptor, all right, so it acts like vitamin D. So when vitamin D receptor is activated, it will activate another receptor called toll-like receptor. And when toll-like receptor is activated, then let's put it in this term, all right, then it actually, modulates our immune system. All right. So this is very interesting. Now, like for example, during COVID time, COVID virus will not infect our body cell if they say the virus spike protein cannot find a ACE2 receptor. Right? I mean, probably some of you may heard of ACE2 receptor. That is plasma membrane receptor. That means the receptor is on the cell membrane. So example, so Metadichol helped by bind with some of the ACE2 receptor, and COVID-19 cannot spread in our body if they say there is no enzyme called TMPRSS2. So there is TMPRSS2 is an enzyme. The spike protein has two proteins, S1 protein. Now the spike protein of COVID-19, there are two proteins here. So it needs an enzyme to cut it open to S1 and S2. Then they use the S2, binds with the fuse with the cell membrane and inject the RNA into our body and start to multiply. So this is about COVID. Now, something interesting is this. Now, one medicine binds with one receptor. Okay, for example, if you are a diabetic patient, you take metformin. Metformin binds with a receptor in our body cell called TR4. All right. Now, but Metadichol binds with all cell nuclear receptors. Metadichol binds with hundreds of receptors. So, if Metadichol can bind with so many receptors, so there's a potential for one simple particle that can reverse or can prevent, various kind of diseases. I cannot say all, but you will have multiple function. Okay. So this is an example, if you can see this chart. These are all cell nuclear receptor. They are all together 48. All right. When vitamin D receptor is expressed, all the other receptors in the cell nuclear also expressed. Okay. A typical example is when a person is infected by HIV. Now, HIV virus will sort of occupy or control all vitamin D receptor, and that will affect our immune system. Okay, this is the third thing. So number one, it reactivates certain dormant gene. It modulates our gene function. It increases pluripotent stem cell. It is a protein agonist legion, means it can bind with different receptors. All right, it looks like one simple food actually is like we are taking hundreds of different types of medicine without side effect. Okay, now it also modulates our endocrine system to modulates our internal secretion. All right, to prevent all kinds of diseases. Okay, now so these are the four major functions, from gene to stem cell to cell receptor and to endocrine system. Okay, some of the example is this. Now market is quite popular about NMN. Yeah, it's something good, but I don't think there's a magic. Let me put it this way. It's good because it developed into, or it is like something like a precursor to NAD+, and NAD+ is a coenzyme. Now NMN itself has no function. All right, NAD+ is a coenzyme. What is the function of coenzyme? Help enzyme, promote enzyme function. Then what is enzyme function? All right, as a catalyst for biochemical reaction in your body. All right, and it's good. But what I want to emphasize is that NMN is not stable. You don't know what is the amount needed by your body. You don't know whether it breaks down by your gastric acid or not. But when you take Metadichol, our body will produce NMN by ourselves. All right, this is a what do you call it? Through a gene sequencing experiment to prove that the Metadichol, when we consume Metadichol, our body will produce NMN endogenously. Right. Now, next thing is that it actually increase the testosterone level. Testosterone is not only for men. All right, for women also, both men and women has all the three main hormones: testosterone, estrogen, and also this progesterone. All right, so but it's a matter of level. Men tend to have more testosterone, whereas the women tend to have more estrogen. All right, so that is one of the reasons why it improve our sex potency and erection function. Increase the adiponectin. This is something very important to prevent diabetes, and also increase nitric oxide for our blood vessel, and APOAI, all right, to prevent sort of cardiovascular diseases, and also beta defensins, catecholamines. These are more antibacterial, antimicrobial substances. All right. Now, Metadichol also, it sort of increased serotonin and melatonin secretion. For most of the mild mental issue, such as the anxiety, depression, ADHD, and all this, I think is closely related to the imbalance of neurotransmitter. So for those who have long sleep latency, having problems to fall into sleep, take hours to fall asleep, that's called long sleep latency. You can really experience that when you take Metadichol, it shortens your sleep latency, and you experience deep sleep. All right. Not only for relaxation, to improve your sleep quality, it also helps those with a migraine problem. Okay. Now, Metadichol reduces, those sort of substances that cause affect our brain function and also trigger or causes all kinds of diseases. So these are basically what are the mechanisms why Metadichol, because when I start this seminar, I share with you many of the testimonies that we have seen over the last few months and the mechanism or the what are the mechanisms that this Metadichol, a simple food, can bring so many benefits. I summarize it by saying, number one, it acts on gene. Number two, increase pluripotent stem cell. It is a protein agonist region. Then it modulates our endocrine system. Okay. Now, so thank you very much. You may have some questions that you may want to know further. Please, you are free to ask. The whole Metadichol we can summarize in one page.
Anyone would like to ask can unmute your mic and then just ask.
Mr. Benson Gan.
Yes.
My name is Selva.
Yeah.
I'm the guest of Dr. Singham.
Yeah.
I'm a Parkinson patient for 12 years.
Yeah.
So when you take Metadichol, do you stop taking the levodopa also? The Madopa, do you stop taking the Madopa?
No, okay. Now, if you are taking any medicine, please continue to take your medicine. All right. This product has no contraindication. There is no drug interaction. You can take at any time. All right. You can take before or after meal. You can take before your medicine, after your medicine, during your medicine, anytime. All right. But please continue to take your medicine.
Okay.
All right.
So this Metadichol, it increases dopamine level in the brain, is it?
No. It actually increases serotonin and melatonin. All right.
Dopamine, neurotransmitter.
Now, dopamine is one of the neurotransmitter, like serotonin. All right. Okay. Now, Metadichol don't have any paper to show that it improves dopamine. All right. But dopamine, you can increase your dopamine by going for morning walk, if you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
By doing the exercise.
Yeah. Especially exercise with a bit of morning sunlight, it will help a lot.
It's a feel-good hormone.
Sorry?
It's a feel-good hormone.
Yeah, definitely. Dopamine is definitely give you sort of make you feel good, all right, make you more confident. But of course, I think serotonin will give you more confidence also.
So this Metadichol doesn't increase dopamine in the brain.
I have no any evidence to say so. So I did not claim that it improves dopamine. Okay. But we just know that it actually increase glutathione. Then by doing so, it actually will convert this what do you call it, tryptophan into serotonin, and serotonin now convert to melatonin.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I think another last two questions so that we can move to our next section. Is there anyone? Or you want to reserve, write down your question and then ask your introducer, and then we pass to Benson later.
Okay, now on the 23rd of this month, I'm going up to Penang. I will have a session at this YMCA. You are welcome to invite your friend to come along. Okay. Okay, if there's no further question, thank you very much for having the patience with me. I hope you know, maybe it's quite difficult to say, you know, really fully understand. But I hope you appreciate, you know, the potential of this product. If you have any family member or yourself or any of your friends having some health issue, has been seeing doctors for years, you know, the symptoms doesn't seem to improve, or some people even have a terminal illness, you know, or feeling so sort of helpless. Please, before you give up, try this. You know, I cannot say, I did not say that, you know, this product sure will help you. But because of so many miracles that I witnessed with my own eye, and also for my personal, the benefit that I personally enjoy, so I strongly encourage you, if you are financially able, because, you know, sometimes the healthcare is not cheap, but, you know, let's be a bit wise. Don't spend so much money to maintain your car, maintain your own health. I mean, as a top priority. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What I want to say is that with Metadichol, there is still hope. All right. The hope to regain your health, the hope for you to enjoy your longevity, and probably the hope for you to make a fortune out of it. So with this, I hand over to William, and I want to excuse myself. Thank you very much, William.
Thank you, Benson. Thank you, Benson, for your very
Okay.
informative presentation tonight.
Okay,
So,
thank you very much.